is processing in brain. What happens in our brain when we learn? Actually, there is a good evidence that when person learns, the brain size of the person increases. This is because the dendrites in the neurons, they get more and more divided and they grow. One of the reason is that. Second is that the insulation on the neuron, that is called as myelin sheath, that also gets thicker. So the fiber bundles get thicker. So in the end, more oxygen, more blood comes to the brain because there is a learning process. So because of all these things, the size of the brain increases. So I can say that definitely learning helps our brain to grow. And to grow means to expand our awareness. And to learn means to acquire the knowledge. So how our brain acquires knowledge and how we learn. To understand this, we must understand the basic principles of brain. Before that, I would like to quote one Sanskrit Subhashit which explains students' qualities very nicely. It says, Jnana Trishna Guror Nishtha Sada Dhyayana Dakshata Ekagrata Mahatvecha Vidyarthi Gunapanchakam. It means curiosity, ambition, willpower, vigilance in studies, and respect to teachers and parents. These are the 5 best qualities in every student. So student will become best when he or she is having these qualities in him or her. So what I think is willpower is one of the most important thing in learning. Because if there is no intention of learning, then whatever knowledge is available to you, you won't be able to grasp it. Yesterday only I read a very nice news about a girl, and that girl has got international award in running, and till the end, like till she goes to internationally, she was not having shoes in her legs because she was very poor. So she used to cover her legs with the cloth, and she used to run with that bandage or that kind of clothing. So this is the extreme example of when there is a will, there is a way. But I think will is the most important thing in learning. If the child wants to learn something, definitely there are different ways to learn. First of all, we must understand what is the basic principle or the most important thing in brain when we learn. So white matter is most important because white matter is actually the myelin sheath, that is the cover on the neuron, and it decides the speed of learning, whether it will be 50 times more, whether it will be 100 times more. So the speed of learning depends on the thickness of the insulation, and that insulation is of the white matter. So white matter matters in brain. So every child when learns better and better, his white matter, that is insulation, becomes more and more thick. There are nutritional supplements also to improve the myelination or to improve the functions of the white matter. The most important thing in learning is that to maximize the potential of our brain. Because what happens in our brain when we learn, the information is passed from one neuron to another neuron. And to pass that information, there are different chemicals. Those are known as neurotransmitters. If the brain is depleted with neurotransmitters, then whether the child is having a good attention or willpower, but still the child will not be able to understand and sustain the information. That information which is gathered through the senses will be disappeared and dissipated. So if we want to retain that information, the chemical balance in the brain is very important. And to have the chemical balance in the brain, now research scientists are saying that exercise is the most important thing. Movement causes blood glucose oxygen flow to the brain, which actually gives a nourishment to the brain and then all chemical balance in our brain becomes superb. So to have a proper chemical balance, we need to eat nutritional food, we need to drink water, and we need to do the exercise. Nowadays, children are so much addicted for the screen, mobiles and television that they are sitting, they are becoming a potato couch or couch potato. So, and this is actually causing them a lot of stress, and their brains are not learning properly because their brains are not in a receptive mode. They are just gathering the information, but there is no processing or there is no knowledge increase in the child, because knowledge is different and information is different. So we have to make the inner experience of a child better, and that inner experience is going to shape his brain. So it is our parents' duty that we have to give new experiences, novel experiences to the children. Instead of just giving a new gadget or new mobile or new apps, give them a new experiences. The new experiences will shape their brain, will motivate them, will give them a confidence, will give them a new way of thinking. Because these all things make learning better. Learning is not only reading or going to school. Learning is having a different aspects of personality. It is having how you think, how you actually having your own knowledge, and you are curious about the new knowledge. So all our preparation for learning is the most important thing. Everybody learns in unique way. So learning is not a typical 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 formula. But one of the most important factor is emotions. Emotions play a great role in learning. If the child is emotionally disturbed, then the child cannot learn well, because emotions are in right part of brain, and if the emotions are overpowering, then learning which is done through the left part of prefrontal cortex, especially the attention and the focus, then that emotions overpower that focus, and due to that learning gets hampered. So when child learns, he or she should be happy. So happiness increases learning, exercise increases learning, then the child's mind concentration increases learning, child's willpower increases learning. So learning is having a different aspects. If the learning we want to do it on a higher level with more awareness, we must understand brain well. What are the parts of brain, what are brain waves, what are neurotransmitters, and what are their roles in learning. The more we will able to understand the learning process through the brain, we will be able to control the study process, and we will be able to maximize our learning. So to understand it, to know it better, join us and try to connect us so that we will give you the right knowledge with experts eye view and with our whole research experience, and you will get the best out of best without any hanging here and there, and without getting misguided, because right knowledge gives you a right kind of information to take the right decision, and a right decision changes your child's life immediately. So stay tuned, wish you all the best, and I really give blessings and wishes for your child.